Welcome everyone. Welcome to Culture in the Kitchen, where we explore the cultural diversity of Whittlesea. And today I'm joined in the kitchen by Dalal. Hello Dalal.
Hi David.
And my name's David. And welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
What are we cooking up today, Dalal?
We are cooking Kilecha.
Kilecha.
Yeah.
And now hopefully you've got all the ingredients at your house, and we welcome you to cook along with us. Cook along with Dalal today. All right, why don't we get started? So what's the first thing, Dalal?
Actually, we need to make the dough. The first step is to make the dough, David.
Okay.
So we're gonna measure. People don't have to measure, like it can be done by eye, depending like how comfortable you feel in the kitchen. But today I'm gonna measure it for your sake, so you know like how much to put, so you make it the right way.
Okay.
So we're gonna put 5 cups of flour.
Five cups of flour. I'm a bit of a novice cook, and I always like to use the measure.
So that's 2, 3, 4.
And this is just plain flour?
Just
Dalal?
plain flour.
Yeah.
And that's 5. Okay, so we're gonna put the rest away. We don't need it for now, but we might need it for later when we are opening the dough. So the other thing that I'm gonna use is actually a tiny bit of salt. As you can see, it's just a little bit, because you don't wanna make it very salty, because this is a sweet dish.
All right, that was about 1/3 of a teaspoon. Yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Some people use cardamom, some people don't use it, but I love the taste of cardamom in Kilecha. So I'm gonna use about half teaspoon or maybe less, because this is a very tiny teaspoon.
Yep.
And then sugar, we're gonna only use 2 teaspoons, not much, because we don't wanna make it very sticky.
All right.
That's it. And then to make it rise, you need to put yeast. And then for this bit of flour, you will need only 2 spoons of yeast as well.
All right, 2 spoons of yeast. You keeping up, everyone? Yeah.
Yep. And then we will need some warm water, just from the tap.
Yep. And that's, so the warm water will react with the yeast, is that right?
Not yet, because there is another step that I'm gonna do beforehand, but I need the water to be handy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do now, actually, just to melt the butter. So I'm gonna use the microwave for doing that.
Yeah.
I'll just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds.
30 seconds in the microwave. How much butter?
It's just...
That was 250.
250, I think.
250
yes,
grams
you're
of
right.
butter.
Yeah. Some people can use oil as well. If you want to use only oil, you need to use sunflower oil, not vegetable oil, because otherwise it's going to make it hard. And you don't want this dish to go hard and not very soft as well, so you need it like in between.
Okay. All right. That's the butter. You don't need to sift the flour?
No need. No. You can do it if you want to.
I mean, some people do.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah.
So, but with me, I don't do it actually. Yeah. So don't put the whole amount in at once, just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was about 2/3, maybe 3/4 of the butter, and the butter's liquid.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
you.
So then we will mix it.
All right. This is where maybe if you've got kids, this is where they get involved, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I love it. Getting your hands dirty in the kitchen.
But it's worth it because it's very nice and tasty.
So this dish, this is a traditional dish?
It is a traditional dish, David. We usually make it for Easter and Christmas, for special occasions. And it's kind of sweet dish, and when people visit you, you offer them this dish with cup of tea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about special cups of tea behind us here a bit later on.
Uh-huh.
And
so, as you can see, I'll just put a tiny bit more, not much, because it's almost enough for that, because once you touch the flour and you see it's like...
can you see this?
Yes.
So this is what
it's
you want, right?
It's sticking together,
yeah.
But when you touch it, of course, it goes back to normal.
It crumbles.
It crumbles, that's the right word, thank you, David. And then you keep mixing it still, because you don't want any lumps in it as well.
Yeah.
Before you add the water. And then slowly add the water. There is no measurement here. Your eyes are measurement and your hands, because you feel the flour to become dough. So slowly.
You are really doing this by feel.
Yes, that's right.
And so the butter turns it into like a crumble pastry, and now that water, and it really is by feel.
Exactly.
And so, how's this going?
It's going really well, David, as you can see. So now I am making the dough, so I added tiny bit of water. When you lift up the dough, and if you see any flour that is not wet with water, just add a little tiny bit of water, so all the flour can get wet, and then you just mix it until it becomes really nice dough.
So what's going on? It's like it's one piece now. It's
one piece, as you can see.
Yeah.
And then just to make it a little bit more nicer, just add a tiny bit of oil so it doesn't stick in your hand. This is like just a small amount, but if you are trying to make a big amount, you will be using like 2 hands to mix it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that oil, that was just a little bit on your hands, literally to stop the dough sticking.
Yes.
It's not like half a cup, it's like a tablespoon.
That's right, just like brushing your hands with oil, that's it. And as you can see now, the dough looks beautiful.
Yeah. So this is a good workout. Huh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So sometimes you might make double the
amount.
Double
you
the
can make
amount.
5 kilos if you want to. So it's totally up to you.
Yeah.
The amount is up to you, how you want to make.
Depends who's coming over for Christmas.
Exactly. And if you want to keep them in the freezer, you can as well. So so I'm done. So now I'm just gonna cover it with a plastic bag and leave it to rest. We usually put like a clothing on top of it as well to cover it.
A cloth, yeah.
Yeah, that can be like tea towel, a clean one. And then if it's a big amount of dough as well, you need to put like maybe a baby blanket if you want it to rise very quickly, because the warmer it is, the quicker it rises.
Okay, the warmer it is, the quicker it rises. Yeah?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So that's about warmth rather than air.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And the reason behind why do we put the plastic bag on top of it, because we don't want it to get dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So keep it moist with plastic, and then a blanket or this cloth to generate the warmth. And then the yeast will react and it'll rise. All right, what's next?
Next is actually, we're going to put the dates in the pot. And because as you can see, these dates are seedless. They don't have any seeds in them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I will wash the dates, not because they are dirty or anything, because that will make them cook quicker and they will become moist better.
All right. So it'll absorb some of the moisture from washing them.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if your dates have got pips, now's the time to
No pips. You can't
get the
use
knife
the pips ones.
So you don't want pips.
No. Because you can buy this from the shops without pips or seeds in them.
Yeah.
So that's done. I'll just put a little bit of water.
All right. So that's just wash. So they're all covered in water, and then there's just a little splash of water in the bottom of the pot.
That's right. And as I mentioned at the beginning, my family and I, we love cardamom, so I'm gonna add a little bit here.
All right, this is the secret ingredient, I think, Dalal. Cardamom in everything, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then, because you don't want them to get sticky, you just add maybe a teaspoon of oil, or maybe 2 even, it's not gonna harm. And then cover it and put it on top of the stove in a low fire. But then you have to mix them and crush them as well until they become very soft.
Okay. So did you get all that? You're going to wash your dates. Just get a moisture around the date, a little bit of water in the bottom of the pot, 2 teaspoons of oil, and that will stop your dates sticking together, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Sorry, can I get...
Yes.
So I can't clean the bench because there is some flour here.
And so the dates are now on a low fire. How long are you gonna like cook the dates? What?
They're not gonna cook actually. We're just trying to make them soft.
Okay.
Because you need to spread them on the dough.
All right. So this will make sense, right? Cardamom. You put cardamom in everything.
Yes, that's correct.
And so cardamom, that comes in a pod, right? And then there's seeds inside. Is that cardamom?
You can buy it like this.
Yeah,
it's
ground.
Powder. Ground.
Yeah.
Or you can buy it like as seeds, and then you can crush it yourself in the machine.
Yeah.
So if you have a machine, you can do it at home. But if not, you can buy it ready.
Yep. Smells so good.
Yeah, it does actually, and I love it. And the next step is actually we're gonna do the walnut as well. So we're gonna put them in a food processor. If you are making big amount, of course you will need a big food processor for it. But because I'm making a small amount, I'm only using this tiny machine for it.
Now I love this machine.
I love it too because it's very multi-purpose. Especially you can use it for chopping onions.
And yeah, check it out. Oh,
it doesn't like open, so not to worry.
Yeah, so it locks on the top.
It does.
And you can see it's a pull the string. And it's a food processor.
Very easy, that's right. And I don't want to crush them too much as well because I want that texture of the walnut to taste better.
All right, yep.
As you can see.
So you don't want powdered walnut here.
No.
Yeah.
But if there are like big pieces, you can always put them back again and go another time.
Yeah.
But with mine, they are perfect. So
Look, I love this machine.
How easy and
very simple, really quick. Yeah. I assume it's all washable.
Yeah, it is washable.
And it's a whiz for onions.
That's right.
All right.
So we will put the machine away now.
No onions today.
No onions
no
today.
Onions today.
That's done. We don't need it anymore. We'll
Okay.
just put it away.
Okay.
What we need to add to walnut actually, again, like a little bit of cardamom. As you can see, I added to everything. And then you will need to add maybe 1 teaspoon of sugar, not much sugar.
You nearly went 2. Do you have a sweet tooth or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, so if you've got a sweet tooth, maybe you could add a little bit more.
It's up to you, totally, because sweetness, everyone do it according how they like things. You know what I mean, David?
Yeah.
But with me, I don't like adding too much sugar.
I could see you nearly put 1 in, and then you go, no, 1.
Okay. For your sake, I'm going to add a little bit more, just that tiny bit. Okay?
All right, fair
That's
enough.
it.
Thanks.
Here we go. Now we can mix them, just like that.
Yep.
And leave them here until we start making them.
All right.
And the same goes with coconut. So again, we're going to use a little bit of cardamom here.
Cardamom in the coconut.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going at home? You following this? Yeah.
So, and maybe 1.5 tablespoon sugar. Not
Sugar.
tablespoon,
That's a
sorry,
half.
teaspoon
1 for you and a half extra for me.
David. That's right. And again, mix them.
Now here, this is my little thing going off in my head, Dalal. I'm worried about the dates on the stove.
Okay. I haven't forgotten about them, David.
Hey.
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't? Okay, good.
I'm about to tell you, I need a spoon to crash them.
Yep.
So now I'm going to crack the eggs as well and make them ready.
All right.
So...
You got a special way of cracking eggs?
Not really.
No? She does. She does. I would never crack my eggs together like that. That's great.
Really?
That's me on the side of the bowl.
I didn't have any other choice because I don't want to use
You have
more
no other
eggs.
egg to crack the other egg with, yeah.
Yeah.
2 eggs in the bowl.
Uh-huh. And then to mix them, I just use the fork.
Yep.
It's tiny bowl, as you can see.
All right, so, and your dates, they're still there. So the
Still
dates
there.
are incredibly hard, right?
Yeah.
And they're just gonna quietly simmer away on the stove.
So as you can see, now you can only see the yolk.
Yep.
They very well mixed, so, okay.
No cardamom.
No.
Don't put cardamom in the eggs.
Yeah. Now it's dough time, actually. We can start making the kilecha.
All right, so folks, you need to actually pause your video here because the dough takes 1 hour to rise. So, yeah, so we've prepared some dough earlier and it's risen. All right, Dalal.
Yep. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I will cut it to small balls like this.
So it's almost doubled in size, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Yep.
I might need to use this, or maybe later, don't worry about it, because I'll still cover it with the plastic bag.
Yep, so...
As you can see, it's a lot of dough now. I thought it was gonna be just a little bit, but it's a lot.
They're about tennis ball size.
Uh-huh.
All right, so... Yep, you're just tearing it off, making balls there.
Yeah, easy.
Yep.
And if you are familiar with the dough, you will know like how to do all this because I'm sure you all are good in the kitchen.
Yeah, are you good in the kitchen? I'm going to be trying this at home.
I'm hoping everyone is.
Well, the thing about cooking is that the more you cook, the easier it is, right?
Exactly. And especially if you are enjoying what you are cooking. So,
yeah. I have 2 children at home. They're both, one's moved out now.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, he's 14.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about being a parent.
That's right.
You sure do learn how to cook, right?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 12 balls you're going to make from that dough, yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Still keep it covered because you don't want it to get dry.
You don't want it to dry.
You can put it back in the bowl. It's not going to get stick to each other, but
Yep.
I prefer to leave them here so you can see them. It's easier for you through the camera.
Yep. So yeah, so do cover up the dough, the balls, because they will dry out. Yeah?
Yes.
You
correct.
put plastic over them. All right.
The next step is actually we would like to prepare the oven plate. Here I'm using like just aluminium one.
So this is getting ready to put them in the oven. Yep.
Right.
So this is a baking tray of some
Baking
sort. Yep.
tray and baking paper. It's really important. Otherwise, you have to brush it with oil. But I prefer if you use like baking paper.
Yep.
Because it's easier and also it's better for you and less oil as well.
All right. Yep. So Yep, baking paper on your... And now what am I thinking about, Dalal? What am I worrying about in my head?
I know dates, but they're fine.
You got it, the dates. What, they're fine?
They're fine.
All right.
Because they are in low fire, David.
Are your dates fine?
Yes, they are fine.
All right. So Dalal's making circles here with the baking powder, the baking paper.
That's right.
And now, is this just to look pretty, or what? You just don't want to fire?
No, it's easier because you don't want to burn this in the oven because it's not good. Okay. There is another way of doing it if you want. It's much easier even. Like you can put them at the back and then you cut
around. But yeah, you don't want to fire in the oven, right?
That's
so
right.
Cut off your...
Yeah. I think they are still
If it's round, you want to just cut off your little corners.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's right.
And now the kitchen's now really starting to smell of cardamom, and I think it's probably as the dates are heating up. Huh?
I think so, and also from everything
and lots
else.
Of here, yeah.
Yeah. So we just leave this aside for now.
Uh-huh.
We don't need this anymore.
Okay. What's next?
Next step is actually we're going to open the door. But we need to check on dates.
Okay. So what is the idea with the dates? Well, how, I can see now that they're moist.
Yes.
Aha, and they start to actually
That's right.
fall apart.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
Because as I told you, you're going to spread them on the dough.
Yes, so they're really turning to kind of quite mushy.
Yes. Like how you mush the potato, same way.
Yeah, like mashed potato. Yeah?
Yeah. So now we need to keep an eye on it very often because we don't want them to get burned.
All right. So that's good. That's good for me because I can't forget the dates. So, so as they're mashed now, you've got to keep a little eye on them because you don't want it to catch on the bottom of the pan. Yeah. Okay. All right. Get out your rolling pin.
This is cardamom, okay? So.
Oh yeah, a little bit of cardamom.
That's right.
I'm not surprised there's a little bit of cardamom.
Yeah. So now, how do you think we're going to cut this, David?
With a knife.
Thank you.
Aha.
So you just use one of these small tea cups.
Yeah.
And you will have very nice circles.
All right, so just a little cup, a shot glass. You could use an egg cup, I guess. That's about the size.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
So what I'm going to do, I'll make a couple of these before I start making the actual sweets. So I have enough handy for me.
10, 11. So you're going to get about 12 out of each ball of dough.
About that amount.
Yeah.
Depends. You can make this bigger as well, but I prefer to be in control. So they are not very thick, they are not very thin, so it's easier to control them.
Okay, so this then comes down to personal kind of preference.
Exactly.
How thick or how thin you make them.
And you can make this bigger as well. For example, you can use bigger glass to make your circles bigger.
Yep.
It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that's good. So that makes sense. this is where you can, it's your choice. You can have thicker ones. You can get a cup, make them bigger, completely up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one do you want us to make first? The coconut or the willow?
Let's go with the coconut.
Okay.
So varieties. How many different varieties do you make?
Three.
Yep.
I'll check on the dates again.
Thank you for checking on the dates, because that's going to be good for me. All right, they're really, really mushy. And that really is on the lowest heat, right?
It is, that's right. Yeah. So they kind of done.
Yeah.
But I'll still leave them like for a minute only, just 1 minute.
And how do you know they're done? Because just
they mushy.
Completely mushy. So they've lost their form, as in completely.
Yep.
All right. So
now you just do this, or you just with your thumb just do that.
Did you see that?
See.
A little bit of technique going on here.
Yeah.
But
if this is hard for you, I'll show you another way later on, which is easier. So now straight I will put them in the baking tray.
All right. Go again. Just go a little bit slower. Yeah?
Yeah.
So the thumb's kind of in.
Yep. So you can make a hole.
Yeah.
In order for the coconut to go in.
And then pinch it around.
Because
now then what are you doing now?
Twist them with your thumb and the other finger, just like this, and one by one.
Yeah.
And one on top of each other.
Yeah.
So, and then until the end, and then you have this nice.
And it's a beautiful
shape.
little pattern. I don't know whether you can see that. Look at that. Beautiful. This is practice, right? If the pastry's got the plastic over, it won't lose its moisture, so it means you can take your time with this.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yep. This is why I said it's time consuming, and it needs like more than one hand as well. So that's why family comes together to make it.
Go on, talk to me about that.
Usually, like all the women in the household, they come together and they start making this together. Let's say, for example, if I open the dough like this and cut it, someone else will fill them, and another person will just braid them, I will say.
What, you break them, you call this?
Braiding.
Braiding, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's much quicker, but later on I will show you another technique on how to use them. Because some people might not be able to do this, and they find it difficult for them.
Yeah, the braiding particularly.
The braiding in particular.
But I assume you really want to seal that up.
Exactly.
And just pinching it around doesn't do it. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Does that make sense? So you've really got to seal that pocket up. So you'd all come together. Is this a morning thing or an afternoon?
Usually afternoon,
Yeah.
like around 3 or 4 o'clock. Because usually people have breakfast very early, like 7:30.
Yeah.
And then they have lunch around 12 o'clock, and between 12 until 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's long time before they can have dinner, you know what I mean? So just with a cup of tea, you will have a couple of these.
This is afternoon tea.
Afternoon tea.
Afternoon tea. So you have to resist if you've got some and it's the morning. No, you could have some with your morning tea if you had some.
That's right.
And this is a traditional dish.
Traditional dish.
Indigenous
Iraqi, Chaldean, Assyrian, indigenous. They are the indigenous people of the country.
Say that again. What's the name?
Chaldean Assyrian people are the indigenous people of Iraq. And the land between the two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates in Iraq,
Yes.
it's called Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia, this is where
That's right.
you might need to get your history books out. This is the birthplace of our civilization, folks. This is where this dish comes from.
Yep.
Two famous rivers.
That's right.
And is this dish, how old then is this dish?
Very old, David. Ever since I remember, this dish has been made in my household ancestry, and generation pass it to generations. So that's how.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait 1 minute.
That was the dates being turned off.
I love that.
That smells fantastic.
It smells beautiful.
Okay, so
now we turned off the stove because we don't want the dates to get burned. We will make some of the walnuts now.
All right.
So the same way you can make them. So again, same process.
All right, I think I'm going to have a go at this.
I think so.
Yeah.
Can you fill me some if you can?
Okay.
That would be great, David.
Here we go. And I'm bound to put too much, maybe not. Like this.
Yes, but try not to make it to go to the edges a lot, because otherwise I can't close them properly.
Now, am I passing this, or am I going to try and close it? I think I should try and close it.
If you can, just go for it, David. Yes, please.
All right, so that's the hint. If you fill it up too much, you need enough around the edge. All right, and now I'm going to have a go at plaiting.
Yes.
How's my technique?
You're doing well for the first time.
Well, I'm a shocker. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so don't catch that. That is all right, isn't it?
It's all right. Well done, David.
All right. Thanks.
No worries.
It's not too bad.
Not at all.
Look, it's not going to be as pretty as Dalal's, but what I've done is really seal that edge, and that's really important. Okay.
Good on you.
Yeah?
We are putting them in the middle because
you.
we would like to know which ones are the coconuts and which ones are the walnuts.
All right, so you want to do that on your baking tray. Make sure you know which one's which.
Yeah, but I put a pattern on them as well, because some people might say, look, I don't like nuts ones, I like coconut ones. So they ask me, and when they ask me, I'll know from the pattern, this is the one that you like, or don't like.
Now you also just flattened this out a little bit, didn't you? You do, yeah. So you can make it a little bit bigger. Thumb here, and all right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Well done, David.
Not too much.
You doing it?
I am. Okay. I'm going to have another go at the
Okay, good on you.
Plaiting it.
Yeah, that looks good. Hold on.
Walnuts, coconut, and
dates. Yeah.
Are native to Iraq. Is that true?
They are actually, and I'll tell you, especially dates. Iraq was #1 country with dates. Yeah.
Right.
So now what we're gonna do, David, I'm gonna show you another technique so you can do it easier.
Okay.
So all that you need to do just to make balls like this and fill them with walnuts.
Super fast. Look out.
So what you need to do, just put them there, squash them like that.
Kaboing. All right, that's a mould.
That's for you, yeah? You're gonna make
I'm
that?
going to make that. Oh, that's for me.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right.
So you make the
Dalal's got me to work
walnuts, or do you want to make coconut? Which one do you prefer?
No, I'll make the walnuts. They're right here. So I'm making a little hole, and then fill that hole, not fill the hole, but...
So this is easy way for those people who doesn't know how to braid. And also for the shapes to make them look nice.
Oh, they're beautiful.
So there we go.
And squash it in.
Yep.
And?
Yep. That's it, done.
There you go.
Well done.
Quite pretty.
Yep.
Okay. All right. How are you going at home? So this is much easier. Well, you don't have to do the plait.
Yes, that's
But
right.
maybe our folk at home don't have some of these moulds.
They can find them at Arab shops. So you can have only one. You don't have to buy two shapes as well. It's totally up to you. But we're just showing you like you can use a few
different ways.
Different ways and shapes.
Yep.
And, you know, with sweets, if they are different shapes, they make them look nice as well. So we need to keep that in mind as well. So now this will be my last one of the coconut, because I'll start making some dates ones, which are very important.
Because we need to get these.
Exactly, yeah.
Need to get these into the oven.
So if I could use this, you can still continue with that, David.
All right, thanks.
No problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'll open the dough the same way that I was doing it before.
Is there a time where, do you remember when you first made these?
Yeah, actually I was in Baghdad.
Yeah.
I was just 11 years old.
11?
Yeah, I was studying there. And I'm usually like from north, that's where I was living.
North? Yep.
And my sister was making them, and we wanted to send to our parents in the northern Iraq. So she asked me to help her. Do you mind passing the silver knife to me, please?
Yes.
Thank you so much, David. As you can see, the dates are very mushy now.
Yeah.
And then she asked me to help her with other neighbors, and that's when I start making them.
This is your older sister?
That's my older sister. Yeah. So as you can see here, we are spreading them by knife. Some people use dates that are ready. You can use that as well. That's not a problem.
Dates that are
ready, mushed.
Ready,
yeah. But with me, actually, I prefer to make my own because they taste nicer.
Okay.
Yeah. They have more flavor as well. So yeah.
Yes, so dates, I've spent a little bit of time around the Persian Gulf and extraordinary date markets. Amazing. I've never seen such a variety of dates and all the different things that gets made with dates.
Yeah, as I told you, Iraq was @1 country with dates until Iraq-Iran war started. And because of the war, so many of the trees were destroyed by the machine guns and the war, like on the ways. Yeah, just rolled like this.
Are you watching this? This is very different, right? This isn't little ones. This is a great big platter.
That's right. Here we go.
Just take these out of the way.
Now we will need the chopping board, if you don't mind. I will do another one, so not to worry. So, yeah. Can I have the green knife, David, please?
Yes, you may.
So if you want to have a nice shape, just cut this bit and throw it. So that way you don't have to put that. And then you can do them like this, triangles.
Do they have different names?
No.
No.
They all called Kilecha.
They're all the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Just different, different techniques.
But as I told you, so these ones, they kill the time because you make them very quickly, unlike the other ones.
So if you're in a hurry, this is what you want to do.
That's
so you could do this with your coconut?
No.
No.
Only with dates.
It's only the date one?
Yes, that's right.
Yep. Here's 2 more little walnut
Sure.
ones to go in the oven.
And again, the same thing with the last bit.
Yeah, cut the end off. You could cook that if you want.
Of course, if you want. But some people say no, we don't want that.
Yeah.
And that's fine as well. So it depends.
Yep, they're walnuts. And
Now we're going to do another one.
okay, another date one.
Yes.
So
Don't want to make it very flat because I don't want the dates to come out as well.
do dates grow in Australia?
I haven't seen because they require warm weather. And even in Iraq, they only grow in the south, not in the north.
Only in the south and in the north.
Not
Too
north.
cold in the north.
Too cold, it snows in the north, but in south it's very hot. Sometimes it reaches 55 degrees in Baghdad or Basra.
That is crazy.
Which is crazy.
55 degrees.
Yeah, depending, you know.
How do you keep cool in 55 degrees?
Actually, it doesn't get as hot as it is in Australia. You don't ask me why or how.
It just doesn't feel as hot.
It doesn't feel as hot. But what they were used to do actually in Iraq, I'm rolling again, so this is the way to do it.
Now
If
we're
you
getting
think
caught up
this-
in Iraq, but
yeah.
actually, sorry.
If you think this is gonna be too big, and if your opening of the dough was too big, you can make it 2 ways. You can roll this way and put it on the chopping board and cut it from there as well. So we might make one big like that to show you how to do it as well, but not this one because it's too small, we can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you going at home? You all right?
Hopefully.
Yeah. So rolling, then you flatten it out.
Yes.
So you came to Australia, what year did you come?
1992 as a refugee.
Are you a
from
refugee?
Iraq. Yeah, as a refugee from Iraq. That's right.
With your parents?
With my parents.
Your sister too?
We escaped, yes. We escaped the first Gulf War.
The first Gulf War?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even begin to imagine escaping a war.
That's right.
We're quite blessed in this country not to...
We are actually, and I thank God every day of my life for giving me the chance to be safe in Australia. Next step is we go back to our eggs. David, do you mind passing the brush to me, please?
Yep. All right, so you beat those eggs a while ago, do you remember?
Yep, they were ready already there.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna brush all this with eggs. Why do we do this? Actually, it gives it like better texture, and also they shine when they are cooked. So they look very nice.
They look really good. They already, I can see, it already adds a shine.
Yes, of course, with eggs, definitely.
Yep. That would have been a scary experience.
It was actually, because we didn't know whether we were gonna cross the border alive or dead. Because we thought the previous government was gonna throw chemical weapons on us. So yeah. And there was a landmine that exploded on my sister on the way. So we were only about 200 meters away from crossing the border between Iraq and Turkey.
Iraq and Turkey.
Yeah. You know how I had the fork here?
Yeah.
So if you want to make sure you know which ones are which, so we made this as coconut, so you just go like that, and then you know these are the coconuts ones. Of course, all in the first row,
Yeah.
they were coconuts. But if you want to make another shape, for example, with the knife or whatever, you can
For
do
the
that
walnut?
as well. Yeah, for the walnut. So
Yeah. And it kind of looks pretty too.
yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So now they're gonna ready to go in the oven.
Okay.
So let's hope they're gonna cook nicely.
Now you've preheated the
I
oven.
preheated the oven.
Okay.
While they're cooking, we will still continue making
Making some more.
the next tray. So as I said earlier, we're gonna make our dough ball a bit bigger, so we can show people like how to cut the dough from the middle.
Okay.
Because they can't roll it from this side and from the other side as well.
So you put two of those balls together.
I put two together, and as you can see, because it's the dough is rested, so it doesn't impact at all.
What do you mean? The dough is rested so it doesn't...
It doesn't impact in the opening, because sometimes with other dough,
Yeah.
if you touch it or put it together or do whatever to it, it becomes hard.
Okay.
But with this, it doesn't.
All right. I just want to check with you. We preheated the oven, right?
Yes, that's right.
To how hot?
180 degree.
Okay. And then how long will they stay in the oven for?
Look, depending on each oven,
Yeah.
because every woman or man will know like how good their oven is.
Yep.
And I can't tell like how long do they need to keep it in, but once they go golden, then they can take them out.
But it's what, 20 minutes or
About
so?
20 minutes to 25 minutes, but
So
keep an eye on them because you have the light on already,
Yeah.
so you can see it.
Yeah.
Always look through. And then some ovens also, they cook the edges and not the middle. If they are cooked, remove the edge ones and leave the middle ones in as well. So it depends, you know. So.
But that makes sense. So if the outside ones get cooked, take them out. If they're cooked and put
Remove
it
them,
back
yeah.
in.
So you don't
So
have
we'll-
any burned ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to burn them.
Of course not. After all this hard work, you don't want to burn them.
And so you came to Melbourne. You managed to get to Melbourne?
Yes, I did actually, because my sister was here. She sponsored us.
Aha.
My family and I.
Yeah.
She migrated, but we came as refugees.
Aha. So she was already here.
She was already here
So in Melbourne.
in Melbourne.
And so there is, how big is the Iraqi community in Melbourne?
Right now, I think we have around 25,000, not in Melbourne, but maybe in Australia,
Uh-huh.
25,000. But maybe in Melbourne, about 15,000.
Yep.
And then, of course, there is a Syrian community as well.
The Assyrian community as well, yeah.
So this is what I mean, David. Because
Okay,
you
did
don't want
we-
to make them big or thick or whatever.
Yeah.
So if your door opening is too big, you can still roll it from both ways, and
Yep.
then you can cut it from the middle with a knife,
Yeah.
and then continue the same way that we were working on previously.
Yep. Maybe I could do this one.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right, because I am going to probably be going home and making this. Because, look, it's so simple.
Sorry, David. Can I get a knife, please?
Okay, I've got to be a bit more game and press that a bit more. So that's quite a community, 15,000 or so in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Do you have specific shops now, businesses?
Business is a lot. Shops, we have a few in Roxburgh Park that are owned by my community members.
Uh-huh.
But there are people like from my community who are very highly qualified, but business owning, lots of them. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, doctors and lawyers and
Of course.
full members of our oh, you're doing that because I have to do this, right?
I gave it to
I'm
you.
not going to
That's
get
the
off
next
the
step,
cook.
David.
Okay, so cut the end off,
Yep.
put that aside, and then okay.
Sorry, can I just take
Yep.
the
And all right, hang on. We'll just get this. It's practice.
You're doing well.
Practice
Look
makes
at you.
perfect.
Yes.
Thanks.
No worries.
How are you? How are you doing at home? You okay?
I'm sure they are fine.
I am.
It's not so hard to make, David, is it?
No.
There you go.
Oh, look, I've made a little tiny one there. All right.
Yep.
Put these here. And how did your mum and dad go coming out here? They were older, obviously.
They were older. At the beginning, my mom refused. She didn't want to come, even though when we were living in refugee camp, she always said she want to go back, she want to go back. Because my dad was the mayor of that town, and they worked their whole life for everything they owned. And she said, how come we're going to leave everything behind and go?
Yeah.
And then my dad refused, and we all refused as well. We said we never lived safely, we don't want to go back. And after she came back, like we came here, sorry, my mom loved it. Because she had never seen it before, and she didn't know how did it look like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But
Yep.
even though she didn't speak the language until she passed away 7 years ago, but she enjoyed every minute of her life living here because she knew she was living in a safe country.
Yeah.
And she was grateful, same way that we are right now as family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, as most of the people are in this country, we're either immigrants or children of migrants.
Yeah.
And, of course, a very dominant Anglo-Saxon culture here.
Yeah.
But now it's just a big mixing pot, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm just double checking.
But even my grandmother in England, so I was 2 years old when I came out to Australia from England, and even my grandmother was saying to my mother, you know, how can you leave? How can you leave us? And you don't speak the language.
Yeah.
Which, of course we spoke the language. But I can't imagine coming to a country where you have to completely learn the language.
That's right, yeah.
And I guess the younger you are, the easier that is. We know that about young people's brains. Very quick to learn new things. So this must be important to. This is about continuing your culture, right?
That's right, yeah.
To make these kind of dishes.
Yes,
Yeah?
it is very important because we would like to keep our culture. That's first thing. Second thing, we would like to share it with Australian people who have been very nice and kind to us ever since we came. So we want to be part of this community.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. And this is our way of doing it, you know what I mean? Because we love this food and we would like them to enjoy it as well.
Food.
Yeah.
So food's a great thing.
It is actually.
It's a wonderful exchange.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I'm just standing here now.
I gave you that job, but you didn't want to work on it. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Oh yeah, in the mould. This one might be a bit small. I'm so looking forward to tasting these. And so, you say this is Christmas and Easter.
Yep.
And what are some of the rituals then that go with this and that time?
It's just a kind of like dessert, and you know, like when you are having joy and enjoying your life, you want to have something that reminds you of that. And I think this is how it came up, because it's sweet. And this was created by our people. And just to let you know also, Chaldean Assyrian were the first people who created the alphabet in the early years calendars. So they were very smart people.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have really rich civilization, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
And if you go back and read the history about them,
yeah.
even in Bible they are mentioned many times. And Babel, which is in Arabic, Babylon in English.
Yeah,
It's the city for Chaldean people. Nebuchadnezzar was our king.
Say that again, it's the city of?
Of Chaldean people.
Uh-huh.
So that was like the first capital city in the world, and which was ruling the whole world back then. Because Nebuchadnezzar was a very, very strong king.
What was his name?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar. All right, I've had another go at plaiting. Okay, we've nearly come to the end of this pastry and the walnut. So you eat these, but you also have tea.
Tea, that's right.
All right.
Iraqi people love tea. Same as Australian people love coffee, we love our tea.
Well, that's it. I'm a POM and we love our tea. Yeah.
Yes. So if you eat this, you must have tea with it, so you can enjoy it better.
All right. Talk about. You have a traditional way of making tea, right?
That's correct. That's right. As you can see on our side here,
Okay.
we have samovar. So samovar is like a few layers. This bottom layer, actually, you need to fill it with water.
Yeah.
And of course, that's the jug that we're going to use to fill it with water.
It's so beautiful looking.
It is so beautiful. And on the top, actually, it's the teapot. So we don't like make the water and the tea together, because some people like their tea dark, some people like it light. So we have that two combinations. You can add as much tea as you like to the small cup here, and then you can complete it with water. And of course, this is the sugar tray, and that's the sweet tray, and this is the serving tray here. It comes apart, I'll show you. Like that's how it is usually. So if you need to put water, just normal water in here, and then put this on top of it. And after the water gets boiled, then you put some in here like that, and then you add the tea leaves into this part, and then you just put it here. And when this water is boiling, it keeps the warm, and also it gives it time to become like a really tasty tea. You know what I mean? Not to make it in a hurry, because it's making it in a slow way. Then when you need to put water here, you usually use this jug to fill it with water. Yeah. And that's the sugar tray actually. And this one actually, when we make kilecha, for example, you put it in this.
All the sweet biscuits would go in there.
Exactly. And then this is the tray, and then you go like this and put the water, but firstly, of course, you're gonna put the tea. Yeah. Sometimes they put the tea up to here, sugar as you like, and then the rest water, and then you serve it to the guest like that.
Beautiful. It's so ornate. And this is traditional?
It's traditional. Actually, you can't find this easily in Australia. So my father purchased this about 15 years ago, and it cost him $500.
And had it shipped over? I'm not sure whether the cameras can pick this up, but it's beautiful. All the different patterns. And this is this religious, this here, or is the kings?
These are the kings that I was talking about, like Nebuchadnezzar, Ashur, Babel, all these. Because as I mentioned earlier, Babylonian are Chaldean, and Assyrian are from Nineveh. Mm-hmm. And this is how they were used to dress up. So that's their culture,
Right.
tradition, and they were the ones who were defending the country.
There we are.
Yeah, and even in the gate of Babylon, if you have seen the picture, all these are like drawn there, and they have lots of statues, and also in the museum it has really rich civilization in Iraq. Nebuchadnezzar built the Hanging Gardens, which was one of the 7 wonders in Iraq.
The Hanging Gardens.
But it doesn't exist anymore. Unfortunately, it was destroyed.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 There we are. Very beautiful. All right, how are they?
They're not cooked yet, but I'm not sure whether the oven is high enough or not.
How are yours going at home? Huh?
Do you mind passing the coconut, David, so we can finish the dough?
Yep.
Thank you.
So tea. Yep. There we are.
Try to make them different shapes now, so we know which ones are which.
Ah.
It's okay. 1, 2 of them doesn't matter.
Well, I know that those 2 are walnut, so I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
Because I've made the different shape
It's
for the
okay.
walnut.
It always happens. We do that even when we are making
And
them
that's-
at home.
That's my second attempt at plaiting. It's not too bad,
Well done,
so
David.
long as it doesn't.
Thank you for trying.
Yeah, well, I don't mind. I tend to be the main cook at my house,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy cooking. Put
That's
some music on.
good.
I find it quite meditative. All right, I'm going to jump in here. And do you have children?
Yes, I have 4 children.
Uh-huh.
Sandra is the oldest. She's 22.
Yep,
Simon is 21, second oldest.
yep.
And Sebastian is in year 12 this year. And Sebastian is 17 and Samantha is 16.
And do they help you cook?
Yes, they do. They help me with housework as well. But with cooking, sometimes, not all the time, because they're busy as well. Especially like Sebastian, I don't want to pressure him, year 12.
So, how important is it for you to pass on these traditions to your children?
Very important, actually. As a matter of fact, they help me when I make them.
Yeah.
And even when I make kubba, which is another tradition food,
Yeah.
like they all come and help me because they know. I make like I'm put in the freezer, so it's not one hand job. So we work together as a team,
Yep.
not only as a family.
Yeah.
And we enjoy it. I have 4 children.
Yep.
The oldest is Sandra. She finished her Bachelor of Animation course last year. And right now she's working.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not
Yeah.
great.
And Simon is 21 actually.
Yep.
And he would like to become an electrician, so he's looking for someone to take him as an apprentice. And I got Sebastian, he's 17 and he's in year 12 this year. And Samantha is 16 years old and she's in year 11 this year.
And I imagine they feel Australian. Is that true?
They feel Australian, but they also would like to maintain their culture and tradition. And I will tell you, like Sandra went that extra mile to find out how to learn our first language. I mean, like I only speak it, but I can't read it and write it. The Chaldean and New Aramaic, because it was never taught at schools or anywhere else, so I didn't have a chance to learn how to read it and write it.
Do you mean back in Iraq it wasn't taught?
Yes.
So you learned how to speak it, but no one was writing it
Or reading.
or reading it?
Only churches.
Uh-huh.
But churches in Iraq didn't have much freedom as well, so they were not able to
Yeah.
teach it to others. made it very hard. Only deacons who were really committed and going to church every day, they will learn it. But for ordinary people like me, it was difficult. You know, so
So you speak, but your daughter, what did tell us about your daughter?
Which one?
The one who learned.
She tried
who
to
went
learn.
the extra mile.
Yeah,
you said.
What did she do actually? She went into the internet and searched where to get the textbooks from and how to learn the language.
Yeah.
And she started teaching herself by herself at
Uh-huh.
home. And now she's the only one who knows how to read.
Can read it
Can
and
read
write.
it, not fluently though, because
Yeah.
she's teaching herself by herself. But she's trying her best.
So it's that must be very important for her.
Yeah, I think so, because she would like to maintain her culture, you know what I mean? But then with the other ones, like when I say a word that they haven't heard it from me, they will say, what does that mean? Explain it to me in English. You know, and then I have to tell them.
This is your other children?
My other children.
Yeah.
And especially Sebastian he's the one who doesn't speak Chaldean very well, but he's willing to learn it.
He's willing to learn?
He's willing to learn it fully. I mean, he understands, but he doesn't speak it fluently like his other siblings. But he's older than Samantha as well. Then he says, how come she learned it and not me? I said, because she was committed and she was always asking questions when she didn't understand something. But you didn't do that. And then he realized, okay, maybe I made a mistake. He didn't admit it, but I can see that was his reaction. Yeah.
I always do this. I always put too much filling in. Don't put too much filling in.
Depending to your ball.
It falls apart,
if
right?
it's big or not. Yeah. See, if I make it big, I take some dough as well, as you can see there are pieces here.
Add a bit of dough.
Yeah.
That's it. Coconut. I'm just going to have a little look in the oven.
Yes.
I'm a bit intrigued. Well, I'll just look through.
What?
Shall we open and have a look?
Yeah, I don't think it's warm enough.
No? Do we need to turn it
I
up?
think it needs to go up a bit.
Oh yeah, look, here we go. I'm just going to put it on about 190. I think our oven was a little bit cool. And so English became the language you speak at home?
No.
No.
We speak Chaldean. We still speak Chaldean, but sometimes there are words that some of them haven't heard before.
Yes.
Because they didn't come up in the conversation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they ask questions.
Right.
About it. Yeah.
Wow.
So if this goes cold, all that you need to do,
back in the microwave.
just back in the microwave and warm it up.
Yeah. So it does the dates.
Yeah.
They've got a bit hard. But heat them up.
They went cold.
Yeah.
Why they are opening from here? I think you are putting them in the wrong side, that's why.
That's why. This is too much filling, right?
No, it's not that. When you put them in this thing, you need to put this on this side, not on the other side.
So where the join goes...
The join goes up. Okay? So they don't open. I think we have two in the oven like that as well.
Well, you know, then we'll know which ones I made. And which ones
I'm not
you
blaming you, David.
No.
I'm only showing our viewers
so
they know how to avoid that.
Yeah.
But you're doing great, and thank you for helping me.
It's
I really
pleasure.
appreciate it. See how soft it is now?
So it's really... How long did you put that in there?
Just 20 seconds.
And it's really softened back up. So if you find your dates starting to get hard, 20 seconds in the microwave. And it really...
helps.
Yeah, it's really softened them up. Oh, yep, I can see the ones I made here. See that?
You can
And
do
that
them
one,
again if
here
you
we
want.
go.
I think this one as well is going to open, and this one.
Yeah, so that's, you know, there's always little tricks. Yeah?
That's right.
And so what I've done here is I've put them in upside down. So the join sits on the top.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Got the wrong one. The join is on the top. So as you press them in, that seals the top. All right. And we'll go again. One more time. Could you speak English when you
Me?
came?
No,
And how old were you when you came here?
21.
So you're 21 years old and you arrive in Australia and you don't speak the language.
Yeah. I went to English classes, David.
Yeah?
And including completing my Bachelor of Arts Community Development, it took me 6 years, including that. So,
6 years to what?
to finish my English courses,
Yeah.
and also I did 3 years as community development course.
Yeah.
So I got my Bachelor of Arts Community Development, and then I started working in the community sector.
Uh-huh.
And I've been working for the last 18 years, but in 2013 I did my Australian migration law and practice as well. So now I'm a registered migration agent running my business.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
So that means you're looking after people who are coming out
That's
to
right.
Australia.
I give them advice, and also I help them with their visa applications.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just make it.
I'm intrigued what it would be like to come to a country where you don't speak the language.
It's very
How
difficult.
did that feel for you?
It was frustrating, honestly. And I had my sister-in-law who was here before me, but back then she wasn't my sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
But we knew each other. So when we were talking at home, for example, if I see this, I'll say to her, "Can you tell me what is this called in English?"
Mm-hmm.
And she will tell me, and I will just write it down. I know it's that. And then this one, mop, broom, oven,
Yep.
and so on.
Every day-to-day things.
Every day to day, but attending English classes as well. So
Yeah.
I learned the language, so it was good.
Yeah.
At the beginning, as I told you, it was frustrating
Yeah.
experience because
Must be very-
I wanted to be able to speak and communicate, integrate very quickly.
Yep.
But unfortunately, no one can do that. Like it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
So it takes time, but at the end, it's worth it. But I always advise people, please take one step at a time, because it's really important. Don't aim very high at the beginning, because otherwise you will fall back.
Many tiny steps.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure everyone who would have a goal, they will eventually reach it if they aim for it and if they are determined. So determination is the right word.
Yeah. Determination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right. Oh, they're smelling so
Almost
good.
there.
Almost there. Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. No, we don't have dough left.
So
we're done.
how are you doing? How's it going in your kitchen? So, at some of these Easter and Christmas, how many people might come together? Is it lots of family groups, or is it just small? What's the tradition?
Actually, because it was too big and so many people were visiting during Easter and Christmas, it would take one whole month for everyone to visit you, and in order for you to visit them as well. So as a community, we came together and we decided, how about if we celebrated in a hall all together?
Is this in Australia or in Iraq?
Here.
This is here.
This is here.
So when you started, you as you visit everyone, it took.
It was taking time, and for people like me who were working, that wasn't possible.
Yes.
To meet, and we don't want to be rude to our extended family and friends.
Yeah.
So you want to wish them well for Christmas and Easter.
And so now you all come together. the kind of whole community comes together.
And we are very family orientated, and also like we love socialization a lot, and we miss that part in Australia, which is not a lot. You know what I mean? Because back at home, like when you are next door to your neighbor in the evening, if you don't have anything to do, a few people will come outside and you will just sit there and talk to each other. You know what I mean? And even have a cup of tea together outside. You know what I mean?
Because you're inside the culture there.
Inside the culture right now. But that's missing, unfortunately, in Australia. And I hope like we can be more friendly to each other, like when it's okay, even if my neighbor doesn't say hi to me, I'll make that step and go and say hi, I'm this and that, introduce myself to them. But if they don't want to talk to me, that's fine as well. I understand their culture as well. But I think it's good to have.
We do get caught up, don't we, in our own little
I understand.
Own little bubbles. I know I do.
Yeah, everyone is busy with their life, and sometimes people like their privacy as well, and we have to understand that. You know what I mean? So maybe they don't know me and they don't trust me, and I respect that. You know what I mean? So but it's good to have that connections with your neighbour.
And this is the perfect. We are still. We've got a beautiful Christmas cake that it's the Christmas cake that continues to give, and we're. That's how we connect with our neighbours, is again through food.
That's right.
And Christmas cake's a ripper because you put enough brandy and it'll last forever. It's Easter and Christmas are the two big times where you'd all try and come together.
Correct, but there are other two events actually, and these were our Saints' Day. One of them is Martish morning, and the other one is Saint Kyriakos. And these two events actually, again, we hire a hall and everyone cook and take to the hall, and we all share the meal together. Or we all contribute and then they cater for everyone to eat, and then with prayer and we go home.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And is there music, a traditional music?
Yeah, we have traditional clothing, traditional music and all that. Yes, it all goes with it.
All right.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How are they going?
Hopefully, okay. I think they are. They're ready. As you can see, they are very golden, beautiful, shiny.
All right. And so, again, if you want to know which one's which, just be very careful as you so this is the coconut was on the outside. No,
you don't have to go with that anymore because we know these are coconuts.
We do.
We made holes.
Yeah, we made holes.
Fork.
Yep.
Yep. And these are obviously obvious.
The date ones are
Exactly.
obvious.
Yeah.
And the ones that I made are obvious.
They're gonna go here, David. Don't worry,
look.
okay? That's all right. For a start, they are really good.
I'm happy.
So, here we go.
This is great. What a delightful, simple,
As I told you.
sweet treat.
Sorry. You can make them as big as you want. You can make them as small as you want.
Yeah.
So it's totally up to you. Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to grab this. We can move this tray out of the way. All right. Now we get to taste.
Okay.
Chaldean.
Yes. Which ones do you want to try first?
I'm very keen for the date one, actually.
Okay, let's go for it.
All right.
We will try the three of them because you need to know, like, how do they taste anyway.
Yeah.
So.
The date, I am thinking the date one's going to be quite hot. Just the date will be hot.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm. I would not think to put, I'm going to talk about the cardamom again. Cardamom. I would not think to put this in. But,
Can you taste
yeah,
it? Yeah.
just a little bit. Beautiful. All right, I think I'd like
I'm
to taste
used to eat hot food.
the
so
hot. It's
okay
good.
with me.
I'm keen to taste the walnut.
So let's go with yours. Actually,
All right,
because I can't tell
we
that's
can break
a
that
walnut.
open.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
Yes, it is actually, as you can see.
Is this cooked enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yes.
That fell apart. Steam, the dough. Okay.
See, that doesn't have much sweetness in it.
Mm-hmm. So simple. Really tasty. If you've got a sweet tooth, you can add a bit more sugar. But the date is sweet, coconut is sweet, and walnuts are quite sweet too. All right.
Sweetness, it's up to the person. They
Yeah.
can put more
Yeah.
sugar in the dough or in the walnuts as well. Yeah.
Mm. Beautiful. How did you go at home? Again, such a beautiful and simple dish. Thank you. Thank you very
welcome.
much for joining us.
You're welcome, David.
We hope to catch you next time here at Culture in the Kitchen, celebrating the diversity of our community here in Whittlesea. All right, till next time.